step number 1, you're going to go ahead and take your fabric and fold it in half. Step number 2, you're going to fold it in half again, however the other way. Step number 3, you're going to place your fabric down, and it's going to be basically a square. And then you're going to shift it so it's in a diamond shape, and then you're going to measure the item that you are going to attach, which is the top, the waist of the top, to know how much to cut on the fabric. So you see the fabric right there. It's folded into 4s, and then I'm going to use that crop top right there, and what I'm going to do right now is measure the waist of that crop top. And you can always also fold it in half to know the exact measurements. It might be a little bit easier. I usually do that. I will fold the actual fabric, the top, in half, as I'm doing right there. And then I will go ahead and take a ruler and measure however much that distance is, or you can just place the top on top of the fabric so you can see where it is. And at this point you can go ahead and draw lines before you cut it. Okay, so I'm going to cut it just without anything because I've done this so many times. So as you can see, the fold is to my left hand. Okay, so that gets cut. So basically, after you open the fabric up, you're gonna go ahead and see that it matches that. So basically, step number 5, you measure the waist of the item that you are using. So in my case, it was the crop top. After you measure it, and you're basically not measuring the circumference, so you're not going all the way around, you're just measuring from left to right. So I'm using the front, for example, and if, for example, my measurement is 24, what I do is I divide that in half, so my measurement would be actually 12. So the part that I'm gonna cut on the fabric is going to be like 12 inches, for example. So that's why I would make the little line going to 12 inches. So that's what you can see as step number 6. And then step number 7, you basically cut it. Once you cut it, step number 8 is what it should look like. And then once you open it, it will be a whole circle that's going to be cut out in the center. So that's what's going to get attached to the top, which we're going to go ahead and then sew. So then you will see that in the next steps while we sew it together, basically putting both parts together. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and sew the 2 pieces together. So it's going to be the crop top, and it's going to be attached to the bottom, which is the skirt. So first, once we get it in the machine, we're going to do what's called a back stitch. To secure the stitch, you go forward and backwards, and then forward again and continue. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in this step, as you can see. And then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and right there, as you can see. Okay, now I'm going to do a little slow-mo for you guys so you can really see it. So it's pretty much like 3 stitches, like 1, 2, 3 to the front, and then backwards, 1, 2, 3 to the back, and then go forward again, 1, 2, 3, and continue on the stitch. So it basically back-tacked it, so it made it secure. So if I were to remove it from the machine, it would basically hold still, it wouldn't fall apart. Alright, so now you just go ahead and continue all the way through around the skirt. You just keep sewing it until it's all attached. And once you get to the end, you do the back tacking again just to secure it. Alright, so step number 9, you open up the fabric and there should be a circle, a hole basically in the fabric. So that hole is going to match the top, which is step number 10. So you take the circumference of the top, the waist, the whole waist, and attach it to that circle. Okay, so together it will be forming basically a top with a skirt attached to it, as you can see in step number 11, as it's fully attached. So now you can see a little fast forward action, just sewing all the way through around the skirt, attaching it to the top. So it does take a little while, so you need to be patient, but I did want to go ahead and fast forward through this so you guys can get an idea. Alright guys, here's the chart again. You guys can pause it as many times as you want, take a closer look at it, and if you have any questions, leave comments below.